intention of conquering all the Yoruba land. And without Balogun, they would have been ruling us the way they did in northern part of Nigeria. The Hausas were conquered. So when we now talk of Hausa Fulani, there's nothing like that. But because they were conquered by the Fulanis at that time, that's why the Fulani is now the Hema. Most of the places now, you hear of Hema of Kano, you hear of Hema of Sokoto. They are Fulanis. They are Fulanis. They are not the original owner of the land. They tried it in Yoruba land. But our forefathers, Balogun Odenrilo, suppressed the insurrection of the Fulani at the Battle of Osogbo in 1840.
But they captured Ilorin, a Yoruba land.
Yes, they captured it through deception. You see, they betrayed Afanja. Afanja trusted them because they projected themselves with their religion, and he allowed them. He accommodated these people. He accommodated them because he thought, well, maybe they will bring peace to the land. But they had ulterior motive. So through his trust in the people of the Fulani extracts, they betrayed him and he took Ilorin from the Yorubas.
Did Afanja betray Yoruba land?
It may appear so. It may appear so, actually, because of what transpired between Alaafin Oyo and Afanja. There was an issue between Alaafin of Oyo and Afanja himself. That can appear to, because Afanja declared independence from the Yorubas, trusting in the Fulanis when he declared independence from Alaafin, and that could amount to betrayal. He paid with his life for that betrayal.
He trusted Alimi.
He trusted Alimi, totally. Alimi put himself in the service. He became a priest to Afanja Alimi himself. So Afanja did not make use of his own army anymore. There was alliance in Yoruba land, including the Gogon, the Onikoyo of Ikoyi. They all form alliance to fight the enemy. But Afanja now rely on the soldiers of the Fulanis. So they betray him because they have their own motive. And Afanja was not careful. The betrayer, and Alaafin Aole put a curse on him because he was the one that brought about the death of Alaafin Aole. And so because of that betrayer, he put a curse on him before he committed suicide. After Oyo was besieged, led by Afanja. So now, Aole now put a curse on Afanja before he died. And so that curse now came to pass when the Fulani betrayed him and killed him.
When you say curse,
yes,
does curses work?
Yes, curses are powerful in Yoruba land and everywhere in the world. This was a leader. This was their life himself. He was empowered by all the Yorubas as a descendant of Odua. Odua, the progenitor of the Yorubas. So he was the one that was sitting on the throne. That's Haole. And his cause was effective, very powerful. It was not ordinary cause. It was a spiritual cause.
And it affected Afanja.
It affected Afanja, and to some extent, all Yorubas.
Balogun Odenrilo
yes,
can also be said to be connected to the fight around that axis at that time.
Balogun Odenrilo served under Afanja before, when he was in Ilorin, before he came to Ibadan. Balogun Odenrilo was born in Ilorin. So he was part of the Afanja army before he migrated to Ibadan. But he stayed in some places before he reached Ibadan, like Ulukwana, like Iran. He stayed in those places. He helped them to fortify the place before he eventually came to Ibadan.
So his exposure to the Fulanis in Ilorin was what he needed at the time the Osogbo War started.
Exactly.
Right?
He fought with them. They were together under the Afanja army. So he knew their tactics. He knew how they fight. He has seen them fighting. And that helped him. He has studied them very well. He knew their the weapon they use, the way they fight, the formation of battles. So he knew them very well. He knew when to attack them. That's why he attacked them during the night.
Now, Odenrilo reigned at the same time when Oluyole was reigning. Oluyole was the Bashon.
Oluyole was the Bashon. In other words, he was the head overall. Whereas Balogun Odenrilo was the Balogun at that time, next to Oluyole.
Now, in the book,
yes,
it seems they had cordial relationship.
Very, very cordial relationship. Very, very cordial. In fact, Odenrilo helped me a lot. Odenrilo was in Ibadan before Oluyole.
Concern about the misinformation and misrepresentation of the security crisis in Benue State. Your Excellencies, it is not herder farmers clashes. It's not communal clashes. It's not repressor attacks or skirmishes. It is this misinformation that has led to suggestions such as remain tolerant, negotiate for peace, learn to live with your neighbors. What we are dealing with here in Benue is a calculated, well-planned, full-scale genocidal invasion and land-grabbing campaign by either terrorists and bandits, which has been on for decades and is worsening every year. Wrong diagnosis will always lead to wrong treatment. So we are dealing with something far more sinister than we think about. It's not learning to live with your neighbors. It is dealing with a war. The second apprehension, Your Excellency, we have is the politicization of the crisis. Politicians in the states are busy politicizing the crisis, passing blames instead of joining hands to address the crisis. We hear there are some politicians who would even prefer that the crisis should worsen so that it will be a basis for declaration of a state of emergency in Benue State. Your Excellency, this is unfortunate, and any politicians that prays for more people to die for such a project is against the wishes of the people of Benue State. Appeal. Your Excellency, Benue State has made a lot of sacrifices to keep this country united. Many of our people died during the Civil War. We paid the supreme price for this country to keep this country united. Why should we be treated like this? This, what you have come to condone us, is just one in a series of several massacres in this state. What has Benue State done to merit what we are going through? We appeal to you to end the genocide going on in Benue State and the insecurity in all parts of Nigeria. We know you are capable of doing it, sir.